Pound for pound, female mixed martial arts fighter in the world, and she's also jumping into the ring with movies, a book, and empowering message for women everywhere. I have been looking forward to meeting you, Ronda.
Same here.
Thank you for being here. You have been extremely busy. You know, New York State is the only state that bans mixed martial arts, doesn't have the UFC here. You have spoken with Governor Cuomo this week. What have you talked to him about?
Well, MMA isn't actually banned. It's professional MMA that's banned. So around, I think over 1,600 New Yorkers competed in MMA in New York just this last year, but only in amateur events. So there's no athletic commission to do any kind of medical testing for them, no drug testing. The women that competed had no pregnancy tests, and even the referees aren't educated. It's the most dangerous place in the U.S. to do MMA. And if anyone gets hurt, I mean, it'll be on the hands of the politicians that haven't taken steps to protect them. And there's so many ridiculous arguments that MMA is somehow anti-woman. And fighting's not a man's thing, it's a human thing. To say that it's anti-woman, I think, is an anti-feminist statement. And the UFC, I mean, I'm the biggest draw in the sport and I'm a woman. How is that anti-woman?
You are the biggest draw, and like 14 seconds, as Charles Barkley was saying, and you're setting a record, breaking your own record. But you know there are critics. You know there are people who just say, hey, for men or women, it's just too violent of a sport. How do you respond to that?
Well, they don't really understand the sport itself and see the art in it. I mean, I'm a two-time Olympian, I'm an Olympic medalist, and when I was doing judo, the exact same things that I really apply in MMA, I was celebrated as an American hero, and somehow when I do it for money and not costing me money, I'm a barbarian now. I mean, it's called martial arts for a reason. There's an art to it. It's not a brawl. It's a beautiful thing.
And you have been out in front, and you have been using this platform. Just recently, you were talking about how you and the UFC, you're changing the conversation about women in pop culture. What did you mean by that?
Well, MMA is a very young sport, so it's not really stuck in tradition like a lot of other ones are. And we're able to make a lot of changes that we've never seen in other sports. Just this last weekend, women were introduced walking to the octagon not as women's bantamweights. They were just bantamweights.
Bantamweights?
Yeah, they don't say men's bantamweight, they don't say MMA for men's MMA, so they took all the women out of it. We're just introduced as fighters, and that's it. And this is the first sport in the world ever to do that.
And you're really advancing that. And you, as I said, very busy. Yeah. We just saw the trailer for Entourage. You are, I think Turtle has a little bit of a shine when it comes to do. Tell us about your role in this.
Yeah, me and Turtle have a little bit of a bet, and he pretty much has to fight me for a date. And you'll just have to watch and see how that goes for him.
I don't think he'll last 14 seconds like your last one.
Maybe we'll see.
Well, thank you. I know you have a book out, and we're going to have you back very soon because we want to talk to you much more about that. But your final word, you think that you're going to get it here in the state?
I really feel optimistic this year. I have a really good feeling about it. After talking to the governor, I really feel like he's in our corner. And fingers crossed. It's passed 6 years in a row in the Senate. It's never been brought to vote yet in the Assembly, and I think it will this year.
We'll see what happens. Hey, Ronda, thank you. We'll have you back.